Alright, so this is just going to be a quick video showing how to open up this Samsung model NP730QCJ. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is just remove these 4 rubber feet. So the way you do that, I just use my fingernail. You can use a little plastic pry tool, but just get under there and then pop it out. Alright, same thing with all 4 corners, just like this. Okay. Alright, now that we got those out, we're going to use a PH0 or JIS0 screwdriver and remove the 4 screws underneath. You want to keep the screws in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that, flat side down like that. In the pattern I remove it, so we have this rectangular pattern, so just put them like that. I do the same thing with the rubber feet, just in case. Sometimes the rubber feet aren't matching, but these all seem to be about the same. Alright, so there we go. Remove all 4. Okay, this bottom cover is a little bit tough to remove. You're going to want to use a suction cup, or you can also use some strips of tape and then just have them meet up in the middle like that, like sideways this way, so that way you can use them as pull tabs. So you'll see as I remove this. Okay, so it looks a little tricky here. There's actually this slit here is actually just in the plastic, but this is where it actually meets on this. I don't know if you can see that, it's not focusing right. There you go. So on this side edge, the outer one, not the one up here. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to use the suction cup. I'm going to place it somewhat more to the right, but in the center. And then I'm going to pull up on this while I kind of get my fingernail. You can use a plastic pry tool into here. Again, this is going to be a little tough. As you can see, it doesn't want to come up right now. Let's try going from the other side. Sometimes you can get one side easier than the other. Okay. So it is kind of lifting a little, but not coming out. Let's try moving the suction cup over here. Wow, this is actually holding really tight. I did this once earlier, and it came out pretty easy on one side, but right now it's seeming pretty tough. So let's actually try and pry from the front here instead. So I can pull on this, and wow, the gap is not forming big enough for me to get my fingernail in there. So let's see. All right, this one I cut, so it's harder. All right, let's try from this side. Okay, I'm getting a little bit in there. Okay, so now that I got my fingernail in the gap, again, you can use plastic pry tools. We're going to try and work our way across. Here you go, as we're pulling this up. All right, there you go. We got part of this popped up. And then I'm going to use my fingernails to pop it like that. Again, you kind of want to pull the middle so that it pulls the clips in towards the center, and that makes it easier to pull up. I can also get my hand in here and then kind of push this down as I pull up on the center. Okay, so basically what we're doing is we're bowing the case in this way, so curving it like that, and it pulls the clips away from the outer edges. All right, so we're going to keep going over. Okay, we got most of it. As you can see, we got this whole top piece here. So now I'm going to go over here, same thing, pulling it in. I'm actually flexing it like this, okay? And then we're gonna kind of wiggle and pull it over from the front. Okay, we're getting most of it out. So here we go, okay. And then work our way over. I'm just using my hand like this, kind of wiggling it and pulling the cover. Again, this cover's pretty difficult to remove, but there we go. We got the cover off, okay. So there you go, that's what the inside looks like. Here's what the bottom cover looks like. Okay, so I'm not going to pull out too much stuff here. There's an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD, so you can remove this also with the PH0 or JIS0 screwdriver. Alright, just like this. Once you remove that screw, you can pull this SSD slightly up, and then you can go ahead and kind of wiggle and pull this back. Alright, just like that. Again, this is a M.2 PCIe NVMe. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and put this back in. I like to push on both sides, alright, so that way the SSD isn't just pushing the connector off of the motherboard. Excuse me, there we go. Alright, and let's go ahead and now tighten this down. Just like that. So again, I'm not going to take out that much stuff. You got the wireless card here. It's soldered to the motherboard, and then you can pull the antennas off just like every other model. Just get under the tail and then pull it up. Okay, you got the LCD Lvds connector here. There's a metal latch that flips over the top that you can flip up, and then you can pull this out. But if you're gonna mess with this, make sure that you disconnect the battery, open up the computer, and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Right, you got the battery connector here. Let me actually zoom in and show you how to remove this thing, because this one's a little bit tricky. So this kind of connector, it pops up, so you want to get underneath, and then we're basically going to pull this up. There is a slight little spring here, so let me see if I can show this. I'm going to turn it this way so I can hopefully get a better view for you guys. So while you're kind of lifting up here, if you can go ahead and push this spring over, okay? So while you're kind of pushing the spring over, there you go, you can pull that up. And then once you do that, you can kind of go underneath. And then I like to kind of push down here while I'm pulling up, so that way it pops out the other one just like that. And there you go. So if you're replacing the battery, make sure you put it back the right way. You got the red wires this way and the black wires this way, okay? And the battery model number, let me zoom out here to show you guys. Oops. There you go. Okay, battery model number is right here, AA-PBSN4AF. All right, so there we go. All right, there's a few screws holding it in place. I'm not going to take it out. You got the speaker connector here. It looks to be very similar, that you would just pop this up. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you saw that. I just went from underneath. You can use plastic pry tools to do that, but I just used my fingernail. But you just pop it up and then it comes out like that. And now we're just going to push it back down. Okay, click it back into place. Make sure both sides click in. Alright, so you got the fan connector here. This fan looks like if you remove these 3 screws, you can pull the fan out, but I'm going to leave it as is. These kinds of connectors, you kind of just grab and you kind of just wiggle the connector and it comes out like that. Okay, you got this connector going here. These kinds of connectors have these flip tab releases, so I flip that and then you can pull it out. Okay, and that connects the 2 USB ports, the micro SD card slot, and yep. Alright, you got the power button connected over here. So I guess technically this cable is also for the power button, but it connects separately to this board. Then you got this little connector going here, which I'm not sure what it's for. Let me see if I can see over here. I think that's the fingerprint. This is most likely the fingerprint sensor connector, and then this one is most likely the keyboard backlight connector. All right, you got another speaker connected right there. All right, most likely this is the trackpad or touchpad, and then I think this is the keyboard connector. So there's not really much else in here. This one got some bad liquid damage, so it's likely going to be dead, or the motherboard's going to need to be replaced. So we're going to see about that. All right, all the connectors on this side are soldered to the motherboard. But anyways, let's go ahead and put the battery connector back in. So I'm going to get the right side of it in, and then we're just going to click that back down, and there we go. And then to put it back together, oops, zoomed out way too much. But pretty much you just get the cover, put it back on, and then click everything back into place, okay? So we're going to get the cover just like this, okay? And then just click it all around just like this. You want to go around the edges to click it in, okay? You don't want to try and push from the middle. Just like that. This one's still out. All right. Oh, there's still a clip there. All right, and then we're just going to get back the PH0 or JIS0 screws, but that's pretty much all there is to it. The RAM is soldered, CPU is soldered. All right, so anyways, hopefully this video helped you guys. If it did, make sure to like, subscribe, share my channel with others. If it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. This is a customer's laptop, just like almost every other video I do. So keep that in mind. I won't have this computer by the time you guys see this video. So hopefully I'll be able to help if you guys need help, but hopefully the video will be able to pretty much explain everything you need. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, bye. Let's drop this.